Wah. I don't know where you are, but it's podcast time. Where is everyone? Okay, call me back. Hello? Yeah, what? Well, where are you? We got a podcast to do, man. Patience. So what if you're on call? It's only an hour? Yeah. Well, are they gonna make it an hour? Honestly, man, look, I don't think an hour makes a difference because if they can't make it the hour, like they weren't gonna make it anyway. Let's be honest. Yeah, I know, right? And I didn't even go to medical school. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, you do what you think is right and deal with your patients. Whatever. No podcast for you this week, I guess. Fine. Hey, where are you? Yeah, podcast, man. Come on, it's Sunday. Oh, bullshit. Bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. Yeah, I'm calling bullshit. All right, look, just level with me. What's her name? Yeah? She at least hot? Nice. Nice. All right, you're the only one with a valid excuse, but the question still remains since you're the only one, with good ideas. Uh, we still got to put something up. A clip episode. You mean like on sitcoms and television shows when they just put together a bunch of clips from old shows to save money so they don't have to put a bunch of money into producing an actual episode? I don't know. That seems kind of shady. All right. Well, all the uh all the stuff that doesn't make the cut in the episodes, like our witty banter that has nothing to do with anything. What if I just post that? I don't know. You think people would care? Hey, we had almost 50. What do we have? 55 views on that one. People are watching, man. It's catching on. All right. All right. I'll just upload some shit and we'll see what sticks to the wall. Huh? All right. Hey. Yeah. Okay. Sunday's podcast day, man. Yeah, I know, but we got to make a commitment to this thing. All right, pussy or podcast? You decide what's more important. Okay. All right. All right. Bye. Welcome to the clip episode.
Hello?
Hi.
How did that happen?
How did what happen?
How did I get kicked?
I'm not sure what's happening right now because I couldn't get a hold of your cousin. And I called all three of you, so I don't know.
Let me try this. Let me try this. Let me try hosting the call,
right.
See if that helps.
I'll hang up. Okay. Yo.
Right.
Mark's back.
Hey, where's the other two?
They left and they're coming back.
Okay, I was never able to get Jesse again.
Oh, yeah, he switched to his hotspot, and I don't know if it's worse or better.
I don't imagine.
Did you get your steroids?
I got a steroid cream, so I'm feeling. I'm still pretty, but.
No cables for you.
Little. Uh-oh.
Cables for you.
So when Brian suddenly goes black, we know what the problem is.
Yes. Ha! Ha! Let's see you get by that. Let's see you get past that, sir. Oh, no, you can't play with that either. Yeah, this is probably not the best place for a little guy like you, because I got to be on top of you like crazy. Yes. Woo! Mark says don't touch it.
It's my fault. It's gonna be like my Mark telling me what to do.
Mark says not for you. Plastic bags are not for babies or toddlers.
Or pets.
You know, you haven't had a nap today. Could you go take a nap, maybe? Give me.
Hey,
Ow!
Jess is back.
Give me the cable.
I'm back.
Hello.
Let me call Joe.
You playing with the joystick? Yeah, you can play that. That's fine. Yeah, just don't put too many dents in the wall. Yeah, you can press the button. That's cool. You can play that. That's safe.
All right. Let me add Joe.
All right.
No, don't move it. You can play with it. Just don't move it. No. There you go. Be a jet fighter pilot. Why is that all sticky? Is something coming off on that? Yeah, whatever.
Brian, move your microphone up a little bit.
Oh yeah.
We're getting a Darth Vader thing.
Okay, that's better.
That is better.
No, it's funny, Mark. You're moving, but you're up in the circle up at top. Like I don't have you in one of those grids.
I have you and Brian in a grid. Okay, what setting here is different? Something's got to be different.
Okay.
All right. Oh, Joe's coming back.
Yeah. See, I
was trying to call
have
everybody.
Joe here. Well, here. Let me show you what I'm looking at, and it's really bizarre. But see, like I have Joe and Mark live put in circles up top next to me.
Okay. We will continue our banter here without Big Brian.
All right.
All right.
Hey,
Dodgers are losing last I checked. I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah, well, it's a long season. See ya.
All right. Bye.
All right, so we're off the podcast.
We are still recording.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. We got to have that banter.
We got to have
fine.
our banter.
Yeah, so going back to this and adjusted for inflation bullshit.
Yeah,
go
okay.
ahead.
So my 2GS, which was the top of the line Apple II, so I guess that would be what you compare to a Mac Pro that did all the fancy graphics and shit.
Okay.
The fucking monitor in 1986 was $999 for the monitor. That's an expensive monitor like today.
But you're talking like that big boxy, like, CRT kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably have it set up right behind me next week. But yeah, that monitor was $1,000 in '86. So today that's got to be a $3,000 or $4,000 monitor. I don't know, but I mean that's what they're charging for their new monitor. So I mean, I guess it's the same, but I don't know. Computers have just gotten so much less expensive. I think maybe we all just got spoiled. I don't know, but I still think Apple's being bastards. I don't know. Although I will say the Mac Pros are built in America. Maybe that's why they're so damn expensive. Did you guys go away?
No, we're here.
No,
Okay.
I'm
We're
just
thinking.
thinking.
Pondering?
I was bucking the system, and I refused to buy a MacBook for a long time. Part of that was I didn't want to spend the money because I could get a perfectly fine PC for far less.
Yeah.
The other part of me was scared to learn a whole new system because I'm not the most computer savvy, as everybody witnessed from 2 hours ago.
No big deal.
But I made the switch right before I went back to school, and I don't see myself ever going back to a PC for nothing less than the 15 minutes it used to take to turn on my damn computer. Like I'll pay
How
pay
much time are
5
you
times
saving?
whatever
Yeah.
that thing cost to be able to hit a button in within a minute.
Shout
30
out
seconds.
Shout out to Sony Vaio.
Yeah. With 30 seconds, I'm able to log in and pull up all my junk. Like that's worth its weight in gold.
When growing up, we were Apple people in this house. We were never Macintosh people. We were Apple II people in the '80s and early '90s. When they discontinued Apple II and switched exclusively to Mac, that's when we were kind of like, now all this awesome software we have won't work. And we became, I think my dad bought an IBM 386 or something, 486, I don't know. But And I was really reluctant to switch back. I didn't switch back until 2011. I bought a Mac Mini just to like try it out. And I'm with Jesse. I was like, wow, this thing is just smooth. and at the time, it was just smooth, and it ran quickly and did what I wanted it to do, and there wasn't a bunch of bullshit. And now I bought a newer Mac Mini that's all upgraded and stuff for video editing and stuff. I got my Air. Now and I don't know what I'm on iPhone number 3, I think, for me. So, I don't see myself going back. And it's amazing because my Apple II still works. I don't have one PC that still works. Even the ones that with equipment that I bought, that I know I bought good equipment and Brian put together, and we know he does that right. Even those don't work. I don't have one PC that still works.
My PC, I need to make sure it's plugged in before I turn it on, because I have like still some documents on there, but it won't turn on unless it's plugged in.
It's like the battery.
Eventually the battery just gives out.
Yeah,
There's
but
no
still,
charge.
I mean, I turn it on and then I go like wash my car or go change the oil, and then I come back and it's still loading up Norton antivirus or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah,
that's one thing I do worry about, and I don't know. I need to find somebody because I don't have the ability to solder. I wouldn't trust myself even if I thought I could do it. But those lithium battery, my Apple II still knows what year it is right now. And you fire it up, it knows it's 2019. It was Y2K compliant back when that whole thing was a disaster. But those
thanks to the gentlemen and ladies at Initech.
Yes. Those lithium-ion batteries, they're 30 years old now. I need to open it up and see if it's bulging or something, because at some point it's going to burst and leak all over the motherboard, and that'll be the end of it, and I don't want that to happen. That's what's happening now with some of the NES carts, because Zelda was one of the few that actually saved your game, like on a...
they have a battery backup.
They have a battery backup, and some of those are starting to go now, and it's starting to ruin the cartridges that they're on, which is sad. But nothing lasts forever. That's kind of a downer.
The Reagan Years podcast lasts forever.
It might.
That's that's the problem with aside from natural disasters, like I can attest, like I lost all my NES games because my brother burned the house down. So
allegedly,
they all
no. But I'm saying the
house burnt down.
The hers, yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
But they all melted. Over the years, people throw them away.
Yeah.
They just break. They're sold and resold again. They're crushed. Whatever happens, I mean, they're getting more and more rare to come across, and that's why they're so valuable now.
It's amazing. Like, so the 5 1/4 floppy disks, they're starting to degrade because they're all approaching 35, 40 years. They're starting to degrade now. I don't know how many I have that do or don't work. Maybe we stored ours reasonably well, but not perfectly in like a 50-degree like clean environment or something. But I don't know. I'll see how many still work when I fire up my computer this week. But CDs, which were supposed to last forever, remember that? No, they'll never wear out. That's safe. Blah blah blah. Just don't scratch them. They'll last forever. Yeah. So many people's Dreamcasts and Sega Saturns have gotten ruined because of disc rot, something nobody ever saw coming.
Right.
And those stupid floppy disks actually last longer than CDs. I don't know. CDs were supposed to be the end all. Oh well.
Let's go back to 8-track.
Yes, cassette tape.
or the 45s.
Oh, tape was horrible.
Yeah, I hated the tape.
Hiss.
It always got eaten. Then you had to have a pencil or your finger where you could wind it back up.
Once I chewed up my finger doing that. Yeah.
And then it flipped, and then you had to fold it back, and tapes were horrible.
Yeah.
Please be kind. Please rewind.
I don't know. What do you guys got going on this week? Anything?
I gotta go to a play tomorrow
Locally or somewhere?
up in Cleveland.
Yeah. Slimans?
You know what? No, we're gonna go to a grocery store for lunch. It's called Heinen's, downtown Cleveland.
I haven't heard of it. Is it like a fancy grocery store?
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, it's kind of like a world market, I guess you would say,
Okay.
but they have like a. I don't want to say cafeteria, but you can pick out the food there and eat there, and then walk down to the show.
It survived the 4.0 earthquake Cleveland had?
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, Joe. I didn't mean to cut
Out
you
in the
off.
lake. Well, it's funny. Nobody in Cleveland knew it happened, but then you look at all the news cameras, like they're up on big poles, you know, like traffic cameras,
Mhm.
and like you could see it shaking.
No one
pretty
felt
good.
it.
Yeah, I mean, like they may now claim that they felt it now that they know it occurred.
That's interesting.
But,
'Cause
like-
I would have, like, when I was talking about those skyscraper condos in Lakewood, I was actually kind of serious. I'm like, I wouldn't want to live in a multi-story building here or in earthquake country anywhere, you know?
Well, those people may have felt it, but I mean, I certainly didn't see them squawking about it on social media or on the news. But the earthquake also happened like in the lake. Now it was near shore, but it was like in the water.
So if it was, yeah, all right. That certainly affects tsunami.
Well, I don't know if Lake Erie is going to be a tsunami, but I'm with you.
Think Canada's gonna get drenched?
I'm like, fuck you, Canada.
Cedar Point is going to have its own Soak City here.
Well, that I do worry about because I mean, is it still sinking?
No,
Soak City
No.
or Cedar Point? What's sinking?
no, there were. I think back not too I don't know a couple decades ago there was it the Magnum?
Yes.
The sand was soft and they noticed that it was sinking. They had to reinforce it or something like that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was no longer like 210 feet. It went down to like 190 or something.
But yeah, it was they had to reinforce it or something like that. But that was a while ago. But I haven't heard anything recent. But
Yeah.
I'm also intrigued because they didn't do too many upgrades this year. They decided to upgrade a few of the other parks that Cedar Fair owns. I mean, they added stuff called like Frontierland or something like not Frontierland.
Let's say not.
It's like a-
Frontierland, I think.
No, there's a Frontierland, but it was like the Great Frontier Adventure or something like that you can go do. But that's like all that they really did because I guess Cedar Fair is putting all their eggs into the 150 next year into upgrading Cedar Point, and they're not really talking about what they plan on doing at all. Some
Oh,
people
alright.
speculated, like on YouTube and on social media, speculated because you see like walls up in certain places and them digging in certain areas, so they all have like predictions of what's going to be, but nobody has a clue.
Well, we'll be there to find out, right?
It's
I hope
not.
so.
It's not the Berenstain Bears. I'm sorry, the Berenstain Bears return.
Dude, I would love to see the Berenstain Bears, but I'm really digging the Peanuts characters being there too, though.
Yeah, that was a nice perk they got from Knott's, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a good move.
yeah, I really like the Peanuts there, but having the Berenstain Bears there would be fantastic.
I was reading something about that because I guess Disneyland wanted to buy Knott's at one point, and I guess the Knott family was just like vehemently opposed to that and told them to fuck off. So whatever, they had that for generations apparently. So whatever they saw in Cedar Fair, they must have liked for them to be willing to sell. So no, I don't know.
That's a good point.
It was
too.
something
Spite. Out of spite.
Yeah, screw you, Mouse.
Mark likes them even more now.
Well, Brian said, because it costs so damn much money to get into Disneyland now. Brian and Maria have the annual pass or whatever for Knott's, and they were there one day. And every once in a while, you see people with Disney stuff. Like it's like they were planning to go to Disneyland, but didn't realize how much it was going to cost, so they went to Knott's.
So they're wearing their Mickey shirts and all that.
Exactly,
but they're at
exactly.
Knott's.
And I mean,
That's
Well,
gotta be
Brian-
sad for the kid, though. You know,
right?
you'd think you'd
Well-
look up the prices before you
You
go
would,
somewhere,
you would.
but you know,
Well, I had to go to a conference down in Orlando last year, and I had to be there a day early. And I said, well, you know what? Let me go over to Epcot because they have like the beers of the world, and I was just gonna go drinking around the world since I'm not driving. I have nothing
Yeah.
to do on this Thursday. Let me go do that. Well, it was like I don't know, 140 some bucks to get into Epcot.
Which is just,
I said, oh, hell no. So I went to their downtown Disney. It's called Disney Springs down in Orlando. I went to Disney Springs and drank $140 worth of beer.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, joke's on you. You didn't get that 140, Disney.
right?
yeah. But you
Well,
did.
I'm assuming because we live in a capitalist society. I'm assuming that 140 only gets you through the door. It doesn't
It
give
doesn't
you any free beer.
Yeah,
Right. That's why I figured if I'm going to spend that 140, I might as well put something in my belly.
right.
Right.
But yeah, it was very expensive. Now, the good thing about like Brian and Maria, correct me if I'm wrong, is their season pass will be good at Cedar Point too.
Yeah, Brian was talking about that, and
Yeah.
we were going to look up the details because it's so cheap to get a Knott's annual pass. If we're going to be there for more than a day at Cedar Point, it might make financial sense for me to buy a Knott's annual pass to
Yeah.
use in Ohio.
Just make sure, like, because I think Cedar Point, you could buy the Cedar Point pass, or you could buy the Cedar Point Platinum. That's good at all the
It
Cedar
works at
Fair
all the
parks.
yeah. Brian was talking about it. He was kind of jazzed about it because it wasn't terribly expensive to do this, I guess. So, and I don't.
Well,
Are
especially
we
if you're
planning a
gonna use
multi-day?
it.
Is it a one? Are we planning a one-day trip or are we planning a multi-day trip?
I was planning on staying at the Breakers for multiple
Okay.
days.
All right, that's cool. I'm down.
Get a couple rooms maybe on the ground floor there, walk out onto the beach, get the fireworks, get the barbecue going.
All right,
Yep.
I think it'll be a good time.
good times, definitely.
Drink at the Fridays. Have a Monster
Cadillac
Bash.
margaritas. A little Monster Bash competition.
You're
Yep.
gonna invite Jenna to come spend some time with Joe.
Maybe.
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 Cedar Point is one of her favorite places to go to.
Oh, good. And now that I like roller coasters, it's convenient.
Yeah. Well, the sad thing is she'll
'Cause
go with Kelsey
this
and I so she could ride with me because Kelsey doesn't ride roller coasters.
If this is still recording, it took me till like I was 16 or 17 years old to actually want to go on roller coasters.
Why is that?
I was just deathly afraid of them as a kid. I was chicken shit. I didn't want to go on them.
I'm more afraid of him as an adult. That's interesting.
Well, as an adult, I mean, it's true. Like your body breaks down. You can't handle shit. Because the last time I went to Six Flags, I rode. What did I ride? I think I rode Goliath 3 times in a row, and Goliath isn't that bad, except for there's one spiral part where the G forces like really kind of get to you.
Okay.
And I think it was completely dead because there was other things that opened up. Now this was the last time I went to the park. So X2 was around, Accelerator was around, or Full Throttle. There's this one where this loop, you go through the loop and then you go around the loop. And it's one of those back and forth coasters. I don't know what's the technical term, Jess. It's
sure.
like a launch
Like a out and
coaster.
back?
Yeah, like a launch
Is it
coaster.
like a
where
Montezuma's
you-
Revenge kind of thing?
Yeah, kind of,
Okay.
where it's like a real like elaborate track, and you go through a loop, and then you get to like a certain point, and then it shoots you backwards. Yeah, kind of like Montezuma, and then you go over the loop, like you're in an inverted loop. I think it's called Full Throttle, but I think that had just opened up the last time I was at Six Flags. But I remember I blacked out on Goliath the third time I rode it. Like I'm serious. I passed out.
Wow.
I woke up in the terminal
Wow.
with everybody standing around. Like I blacked out
Oh
on
my
that
goodness.
on that spiral part.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but you know,
Good thing you didn't lose control of your power bladder.
It's funny
right?
though, like I wasn't butthurt at all about not being able to go on Top Thrill when we went, because the year before when we were at Magic Mountain, we did Superman. I got off that thing and like I had little palpitations like when we started walking down the, like, you know, I could feel a little flutter or something, and
Yeah.
that's happened before on the ones that just launch you. That's happened to me once or twice before that too. So yeah, I now who that, you know, I just you know, it it's funny. And I remember I think the first time I went to Magic Mountain, I was with Brian, and we went, and I think it was like '93. We went on everything. Like Batman was brand new then. And it was just a good day to go. The park didn't have a lot of people, and we went on everything.
Yeah.
We went on Revolution a bunch of times. We went on Batman a bunch of times, and you know, like the next day, I'm fine. You know, like I wasn't even sore, and now I just feel I know what you're saying, man. It just kicks your ass now. I don't know what
Yeah,
that is.
we took a lot of high school trips to Six Flags. You know, the band went a couple of times. And Batman, like Batman when you're like 14 or 15 years old, and then Batman when you're like 32, it just feels completely different,
Yeah.
you know, or 35, you know, I mean, like Batman, it just seems like it's a lot smaller as the older you get. Like the turns are really tight. I don't know what to compare it to. I don't really know what to compare it to at Cedar Point. Maybe the Raptor. It's probably the Raptor but tinier. You know. Do they even have the Raptor anymore?
Oh yeah, they have the Raptor. They got rid of the Mantis. They still have the Mantis track. That was the stand-up one.
Yeah. That's our version was Riddler's Revenge.
Right. So they got rid of the Mantis, but they kept the track, and they now have a different coaster. I forget. Rougarou is what it's called.
Okay. Is
It's
that
like-
the one that's like the spinning one? Is it spin? Like you sit on the side of the track and it spins?
No, you're kind of on the side of the track, but you're kind of like flying.
Oh, okay, like Supermaning.
Yeah, I think it's. Well, no, that's the gatekeeper.
Okay.
I honestly forget. I think you're sitting on the side of the track,
Okay.
but you're not
But-
flying because
but it doesn't-
gatekeeper you're flying.
It doesn't twist and turn.
No,
Like, okay.
no, the seats don't twist or turn or anything. But the best thing about that is at the Red Garter Saloon next to it, they have a Ruga Brew, which is their own beer for the Rougarou ride.
Tasty?
It's okay. I mean,
Oh,
It's-
well,
it's probably like.
well,
just
you
a
let
plain
in
old-
with the best part about it is ...
Well,
So
what's
I
that tell
thought-
you about the ride?
Oh, it sucks. Okay. Well, then why get rid of the stand-up then? I mean,
I think a lot of people weren't riding it because those things weren't comfortable, but also kind of what
Yeah.
you alluded to when you pass out and you actually can't get flat or sit down and get the blood flow, you could die if you
Yeah.
pass out standing because your heart can't pump that blood against gravity. That's why you pass out as a self-defense mechanism. Your body passes out because it needs to get your head down to equalize your blood pressure from your head to your toes. And if it can't do that, you could die.
Oh. Were a lot of people passing out on Mantis?
No, I have no idea. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I mean, like, it was very uncomfortable to stand for. I mean, the ride was 2.5 minutes, but gate time
Yeah.
and waiting to dislodge, you're talking 6-7 minutes, and you're strapped in. That just wasn't comfortable.
I didn't like that
Yeah.
Riddler's Revenge either, because I didn't like that standing
and
feeling.
and if you don't position the seat right, it could lock on you, and then you're like crotched in, you know. And
Yeah.
you're
Right.
like, yeah,
Right.
I
And-
know, I
and-
understand.
But I honestly have no idea why they decided to bail on it, but that's why I never wrote it. It was just too uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But no, I hope we're planning on doing this 4th of July soiree. That's why it was planned out, you know,
Year
2
and a half
years in
out.
advance.
Yeah.
You know, to try and get everybody's schedules on track and to try and plan out, the 150th anniversary. I hope they do something big, but they could just take a bath on it. But I
No,
doubt it.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will.
Well,
I mean, it's not like they're gonna bring back, everything under the sun, but I mean, they'll make it eventful at least. I'm sure they'll have.
The one thing that I think they do that's incredible is during the September and October months on the weekends, because they're only open on the weekends, they do the Hallow weekends for Halloween.
Yeah, a lot of people do those
Right.
Halloween stuff.
Well, they have like this grave site, this graveyard with right in that midway where the buckets are.
Mm-hmm.
And in that graveyard, all the tombstones are the rides that they've retired at Cedar Point.
Oh, yeah.
So you can
That's
see
kinda
like
cool.
Whitewater Landing's tombstone or
Yeah.
Thunder Canyon's tombstone, stuff like that. I just think that's really cool how they do that, especially as a kid going through and looking at all the different rides. And then some of them I don't know, so I'll Google what it looked like. I said, oh my gosh, I remember that.
All right. If you made it this far, I sincerely thank you for watching. We're still hammering out a regular production schedule and getting all the kinks out and stuff like that. So if you're one of our handful of loyal fans and you made it this far, thank you very much. As you can see from the beginning, there's always technical difficulties, and in some cases it's just not having a great Wi-Fi connection at that part of the house, or we try to do this on Friday night sometimes and the internet's just slow because everybody's watching Netflix and chilling. So it's been a little bit of an adventure, but it's mostly been fun. And then after the show, you see we run on talking about nonsense. So I hope you found our discussion about Apple and Macintosh computers and about Cedar Point very entertaining, I guess. But yeah, and as you can see, how we act on camera generally is pretty much how we act in real life as well. Well, I guess this was all on camera, but you know what I mean. How we act when recording and how we act amongst ourselves is pretty much the exact same thing. It's all silliness. So if you haven't been to Cedar Point, Sandusky, Ohio, I highly recommend it, unless you hate roller coasters and fun and amusement parks, in which case, don't go. Let's see what else. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you again for putting up with us, and we will at some point we'll have a regular upload time too, but we finally all agreed on a firm record date, which we'll be recording on Sunday nights. Depending on how early we get done, I'll have time to edit, and it could be up as early as Monday morning, depending where I'm posting. But we'll iron that out here in the near future. But as promised, from if you saw our Back to the Future episode 3, our next episode is discussing the Goonies, which that will be the next episode up. We'll be discussing the NES game and the movie, which I recently rewatched for the podcast, and I just remember it being better. It was a little bit of a bummer, but we'll talk about that at the time. And just to mix it up a little bit, I was joking at the end of the Back to the Future video, but we'll also talk about the Laffer curve, because that's just good, wholesome fun right there. All right. So for the rest of the guys, I'm Mark Magana. This is the Reagan Years podcast, soon to be the Reagan Years show, I think, which will have its own channel here on YouTube very soon. We'll keep you guys posted on that, as well as probably an upload on Amazon. I'm still working on the details on that. So anyways, that is it. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at the Reagan Years, And if you want to email us, it's the Reagan Years Podcast at gmail.com. And I think that's everything. You can always leave comments here, and I think that's everything. If I forgot something, the boys will let me know. But you can check me out during the week at right here on this channel, actually, at the VintageGamer.com YouTube channel. And I'm also on Twitter, Vintage Gamer LLC. So that's me. And don't forget to check out Joe on Twitch, Maximum Clark. All right, I'm done rambling. So that is going to do it. And we will see you guys next week when we talk about the Goonies and the Laffer Curve.